I will introduce what a voice search is and the trend of voice search, and followed by I will choose a difference of voice search that we have. Brands that use voice search, optimize your site with voice search, and also we have a discussion session at the end. So hopefully we can passing through ideas, and I would love to hear some of our experts' thoughts on those. What is voice search? I think everyone in the room should be very familiar with this Google, Alexa, Hey Siri. Those are the things we commonly use every day today. Alexa is probably Amazon is probably one of the early adopter. When Amazon tried to launch to Australia, Google tried to beat it, and they have a very young product, which is Google Home, that pushed into the market. Just want to get a head start in the Australian market before Amazon. But to be honest, when it first launched, we are really behind. I'm one of the early adopter. I try to build my home as an AI home, to have all the connection between the voice device. So at home, I can simply tell my garage to open door, tell my light to switch on, switch off, remote voice control my TV. All through that was with Alexa, and then of course now I use quite a lot of Google product, because I do believe Google have a stronger search engine and more marketing opportunity in Australia itself. But good or bad, there's no one can say I'm better than the other, but they do all have some advantage and disadvantage on the system. Human-computer interaction principle. So let's talk about how this device learn how to recognize your voice. So firstly, they understand the user, the artificial intelligence, which is a bit of follow-on on our 2 weeks ago the topic. So we had a big event 4 nights, 2 weeks ago. That's probably around 50, 60 people captured in the one room, which is a bit bigger presentation than this. And we have a lot of AI experts in the room. It's recognized a lot of the users in that space. So at the start, when I got my Google phone, because of my accent, it's a lot of things that is not really catching up, but it does slowly learn from my accent. I do believe it's actually pretty good, but sometimes when I go to my friend's place and I will say certain things the same way, it's not actually recognized. Mental mode, communicating between the device and user have become much easier. The interaction to activate the smart speaker are closely remember how interact with other human beings. Purely because when you have the device, so who's here have a device at home? Yeah, half the room. Okay. We know that things is always listening, right? Yeah. Okay. so we that things like Google Mobile, like Google Phone now, they are actually always activating, listening our conversation. There's no surprise to anyone unless you still don't think, because okay Google, the things will start recognize. So you constantly listening and recognize those words when they activate. And a lot of apps like Facebook are trying to adopt those technology within in. So sometimes if you leave your Facebook on, for example, sometime like this, and if you start the conversation, and sometimes you might talk about the keyword pregnancy, and then you will start to see some of the ads kind of show up, pregnancy, mentally, where things like that. That's because those are the agreement that you assign with the each individual apps. So there's no surprise. Adopting to users, smart speakers are able to consult in the database contemporaneous words. And if some of you were more advanced user in the smart home or Google Home, you heard of if this then that, IFTTT, if this then that, yeah. IFTTT. So those are the common things that we set up. If I say this, and then I will ask the device to do certain things. And that's some of the early stage. How do we utilize the smart home setup? We know this in probably almost 2 years ago when Google launched their presentation on how to book appointments. I know half of the room is not here for that presentation. This presentation goes probably around 3-4 minutes. I see if I...
Hi, I'm calling to book a women's haircut for our client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd.
It turns out a big part of getting things done is making a phone call. We think AI can help with this problem. Let's say you want to ask Google to make you a haircut appointment on Tuesday between 10 and noon. What happens is the Google Assistant makes the call seamlessly in the background for you. So what you're going to hear is the Google Assistant actually calling a real salon to schedule the appointment for you. Let's listen.
So how can I help you? Hi, I'm calling to book a women's haircut for our client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd. Sure, give me 1 second. Sure, what time are you looking for around? At 12 p.m. We do not have a 12 p.m. available. The closest we have to that is a 1:15. Do you have anything between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m.? Depending on what service she would like. What service is she looking for? Just a woman's haircut for now. Okay, we have a 10 o'clock. 10 a.m. is fine. Okay, what's her first name? The first name is Lisa. Okay, perfect. So I will see Lisa at 10 o'clock on May 3rd. Okay, great. Thanks, great. Have a great day. Bye.
That was the real call you just heard. The amazing thing is the assistant can actually understand the nuances of conversation. We've been working on this technology.
So let's this is not a myth anymore. It can actually happen. It can actually recognize the voice and what you want to do without actually picking up the phone. The presentation goes on and talk about how they book in restaurant in a similar method, and it's actually intelligent enough to having this conversation and book their appointment for you within the right time that you want. So what the challenging is, how do you set your business ready for that? I often challenge my my team. Let's say, have you ever that bored searching on Google and say what is the top restaurants? So for me, let me tell you a quick answer. If I'm in this location, if I search for that particular answer, the answer is gonna be different when I search in my office, which is only probably 400 meters down the street. Purely because you have a lot of calculation get done. What's your experience, what's your location, and what's your review in the past of what kind of restaurant that you have. Now, my thing is to get you prepared for those kind of future in the voice search. Now, talking about the voice search statistic, 50% of online search will be performed in the voice search. 30% of those search were made using the device without using the screen in 2020. And that's true because I pretty much do most of my search, even utilize Google Map, just using voice. When I'm driving, I don't actually go on says where I want to go, type it all the things down. I would simply tell the Google, I want to go home. And then it recognize where my home is and calculate the route and tell me what approximate time it will take. 30% of the browsing session will include voice search. This is already happening now. We already search using the voice search. The keyword, the result might be slightly different, but if I want to find out, for example, a celebrity's age, it can simply tell you, if you ask Google, during a conversation with your friend, how old is Kylie Minogue? You can simply ask Google and you will have the answer right away. 20% of mobile question on Google are voice search, 25% are being searched on a voice search, 41% either use voice search at least once a day. I'm part of that 41% because I use more than once a day. 58% of consumers have used voice search to find local business in the year 2018. Will be 46% of people using voice search daily, searching for local business. Why do I put local business there? Because it's so important. You don't search for something too far away. Okay, I'm here. I want to make an action. I want to buy. Where to buy? Where can I buy? Screen protector for my Google phone. Those are the keywords that you want to find because you want to find where it's local. You don't want to find, for example, a Chinese seller, which is gonna take you 2 months for shipping for a simple item.
Are they global figures or Australian?
These global figures. Sorry, you mean these figures here, Australian figures. These Australian figures. Sorry. Okay, what is driving this growth? Speech recognition is getting more advanced. The error rate is low as 8% now. I'm the early adopter for the voice search, but I also hated when it first came out. Again, that was my accent. Like when I speak, not 100% pure Aussie English, the device often can't understand me. However, now I'm pretty sure my Google device at home is well trained because even my son sometimes can get the TV start. Speaking is easier, faster than the native button, tiny button on the screen. For example, turning a light on, turning a light off at home. I am that lazy to go to turning the PowerPoint on and off. I like to sit on the sofa and make that happen. When I first got that device, my wife looked at me, why do you spend $80 on those things? I said, it's much easier. She said, no, I don't need to spend a thing. I said, why? Because you are my Google. Now go switch on the TV. So I go and turn it on. Again, I say, that made me even wanted to have that. So you don't need to ask me anymore. People type up 40 words per minute, but now you can speak around 110 to 150 words. So it's going to be much faster when you're performing a search. Ongoing growth on mobile search, and mobile now makes up more than half of the traffic. So you are thinking, years ago we debate on mobile is taking over desktop, which is true, it's successfully take over. Google 3 years ago, they may say if your mobile is not friendly on the website, not mobile friendly, it's not going to appear in the mobile search. Who is building a website that's not mobile friendly this day? Most of my search I use this device more than I use that device. And I challenge anyone here, maybe 10 years ago, or some of us, maybe 30 years ago, when you go out, you forgot to bring your wallet. What do? You go home and grab it. But today, if you forgot to bring your wallet, I don't need to go home anymore. But I will definitely go home if I forgot to bring my mobile. Who's with me?
True.
True. How do people use voice search? Most of it at home. I know, sorry for the tiny little writing. We're trying to make it bigger. The office alone, it was comparison for 2017 and 2018. At home with friends, the percentage is slightly different now. 2018, every number is grown. So you can see the comparison even in the theater. In public restaurants, people tend to use more. Where at home, you probably use voice search before was a bit more than
what would that be?
At home.
Like it's weird, eh?
Because more people using voice search at home. I think this figure is important to show both of them are high, but the trend is showing that as opposed year compared to year, more people are using voice search already. if we are talking about AI, that's way ahead of us. I think closer to us is actually the voice search, because a lot of business is not ready for this kind of voice search. Their business is simply not voice search ready. 5 important difference of voice search that you should know. Difference 1, voice search use natural language. Expects more phrase, a full sentence, less single keywords. So if I tell Google, say Tom Brady's age, probably you wouldn't answer me. But how old is Tom Brady? They will probably more switch on. Difference 2, voice search use more question word. Who, what, how, where. And I was in the next few slides, I will show you which one is more important. Because those 4 actually in the marketing terms are very different from each other. Okay, difference 3, with voice search there is only one answer.
At the moment, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
they monetize it.
yes. There will be few in the future. Voice search are more local based, because remember what I said about the local business. If you search about what's the top restaurants, it's actually tell you what's surrounding by you. Difference 5, voice search is more action based. Buy 2 liter of milk from Woolworths, or download a new series of Photoshop, things like this. It's more commanding. I want to introduce some of the early adopter of voice search. Domino. We all know that they are part of the pizza order. You can now order a pizza through the device. And it's one of the early adopter. This is really strong call to action. It's really make to a daily life. You make pizza part of your daily order. That's quite commanding, because they do have enough store to service that kind of client. And not sure if you tried it, 8 minutes, was it 20 minutes? Otherwise, your pizza is free, only by adding $3 to it. They can all be done within the voice order. Only allowed in laser. I'm not sure. I don't think Google have adopted yet, unless I'm wrong. Now, if you are in retail business, so we talk about hospitality. Patron was one of the adopter in voice search. But instead of saying that, hey, buy me a Patron tequila, they're more towards how do you make this recipe. So if you're telling them certain recipe, he will actually tell you, you need a Patron to this. Make it more exclusive. Make your brand more aware into part of the daily basis. How do I make tequila? Or how do I make, Long Island iced tea? These things will help you to say, you need to 5 ml of Patron. And you actually make your brand more exclusive to that particular search that you are aiming for. Another adopter will be Johnny Walker. So they have a good range of Diageo, let's say the supplier for this, or this guys behind it, is actually the early adopter for this. And similar to that, they're using recipes, cocktail recipes, to prompt their brand. And you can imagine if that speaker keep prompting you the message that you need Johnny Walker, it sort of brainwash you that, hey, they are just a mixed blend whiskey. Most of you might be heard on the Korean Mail, the news. When you are shopping on Woolworths, probably 2 weeks ago, or not even 2 weeks yet, they give you a Mini, Google Home Mini for free.
Yeah.
It's coming to your parcel as a free. And why do they do that? This thing costs retail probably around $79. Sometimes you get special for around $40-something. It's not expensive, because they already adopt. Okay, Google, add a button to my shopping list. It actually create that shopping list for you. We talked about this very long ago, but when you're on the mobile, you actually trigger to Woolworths, you have the app, you actually trigger, you are there, and then it reminds you, hey, remember to buy butter. You can imagine how crazy that thing is.
So what What actually happens now? Tell us.
So it can actually record your shopping list.
Okay.
So, but when we talk about the AI, we talked about last week, 2 weeks ago, we talked about the database. What was our very big on their database? They want to know when exactly you buy and how much you actually buy it. They understand your behavior, and the next step of AI, they're gonna prompt you to buy. Remember, Amazon, and those Amazon experts can probably provide, tell me if I'm wrong. My mates in US, she claimed she haven't bought toilet paper for over a year now. Because Amazon know exactly when they run out of toilet paper and they deliver to your door. You can return it for free, but they send it to your door. Will you return it? Because they learn your shopping behavior so frequently. And once you get into that, what else do they need? They don't need to compete with price anymore. They're doing a service, they're coming to you when you need it the most. You wouldn't even have time to go to shopping. Walmart is running a big trouble in the US. Adopt the voice search. We see different brands act differently. We see giant retail brand, manufacturer brand, tag along. They have different idea. But voice search is a brilliant way of capture data, and I think Woolworths in this hand use it very powerful. While we are, as a marketing agency, we're still trying to train our retail partner. You're gonna use your rewards card swipe so we know their shopping behavior. Woolworths is already much advanced. Stuff around your rewards card. I know from the basic of when do you need it. In what situation, because he track your location, I know when you need this. If I'm in a hotel, if I'm in a luxury hotel, and I ask a bucket of condom, they can easily recognize, you might have something special. Years ago, when Beauty and Beast was launched, often people use, in the morning, use voice control this way. You say, hey, what's my day like? So Google will then tell you, hi Google, hi Dale, today's weather is blah, blah, blah. You have few meetings scheduled, and I was reading the news today. They were reading the headline of, you can set Korean mail, you can set different mail that ABC News, whichever one you want to set. And in between, they slice in new Beauty and Beast promo. Slice in, by the way, today Beauty and Beast movie is launched. Can you imagine how Google that in that point they didn't claim now they have nothing to do with it. But can you imagine that's stronger than any advertising that's currently have. We are trying to spend money on radio advertising. This thing can be prompting and it's pushed right to you. When I'm just trying to get the information of a news, they can slice this in under your radar. Okay, now we know a lot of important facts of what voice search is about. What should you do today as a business owner? So we identify why, how, where. In a marketing sense, what and why, what size bicycle you want to buy for your children. The decision-making process is nowhere near as strong as where. Where can I purchase a bicycle? Why buy a balanced bike? Why buy an expensive bicycle? You can see these are all, in the buyer's persona, this is all decision-making stage. They're still trying to find out what's best and how to use it. But when you use the phrase where, it's actually, where can I purchase a bicycle? In a zip code, blah, blah, blah. Bicycle where it's sold, blah, 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 in Virginia. So these are the facts very extremely important that we need to be part of our, let's say, the basic Google SEO. So when Google search, how you writing the phrase is going to result in how the Google voice search going to react to you in the future. So instead of showing people what size of bicycle is fitted for your children, but where it is, using this kind of keyword is giving you much more powerful marketing phrase. Step 2. Target long tail keywords. And this is go back to a bit of digital marketing today. When we are, how many of you using Google AdWords? Have heard of Google AdWords? Okay, so when we're using AdWords, I know, for example, one of the most expensive AdWords will be mortgage. So loan, home loan. The last time I checked, it's probably around, if you want to get certain keyword, it's up to $30-something per click. So if you're searching for home loan, if you're searching all these top people on the top, they have an AD on it, stand for ad. If you just click through, that costs them $30. So those are how expensive those ad keyword combination can be. Now people are telling, now we're trying to educate people not to use those keywords that's really long, but introduce some native keywords. Instead of individual keywords like home loan, maybe home loan, Brisbane, better rate, and things like that. You can make a combination as small as possible.
Where do I get home loan?
Yes, yes. So maybe make the exact answer to the specific question. It does not mean cheapest home loan, because everybody is targeting those keywords. Because everyone wants to be search results says I'm the cheapest home loan. So understand this graph. It's a handwriting graph. High competition, but low conversion. Versus low competition, a high conversion. So I don't want my ad to appear too many times, but I want my ad appear when they need me. Step 3, make your content voice search friendly. So again, we say how to make, using the keyword latte, for example, what is in a latte? What is chai latte? Making those keywords, because people tend to ask questions. So where in before, you might just need a certain phrase on a keyword as latte. And 15 years ago, we would say if I want to appear in highest Google search, I would just type in latte 1,000 times in my website. And some people were putting white fonts in the white area and repeat 1,000 times. And at the start, in the early stage, yes, they will push you on the top. But Google getting smarter. Hey, 15 years they're getting revolved. If you do that, you're getting punished. They will put you into the whatever the page they can. So start making your things smart to be the next stage of voice search. Step 4, help searching engine understand our site metadata. And when I say that, if you ask specific keyword, such as best core exercise, once you organize your article, blog, or news, or whichever way you call it, if you organize in a dot point format, it's actually going to come up in Google search in the highest search. And you do know at this stage to date, if you ask this particular question, if they are on this is exactly what Google will respond. Based on this website, here are the steps. So it's important to organize your website into the dot point format, or the information or your selling in the dot point format for Google, so you can come up with them in the voice search.
Excuse me, Dale.
Yes.
We have to leave because we parked in the 4 o'clock park.
That's all good. That's all good. Cheers, buddy.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
You have a business card at all?
Unfortunately, I don't.
Okay, that's
because
all right.
we've just started off, but if you're registered in the meetup group, I'll
Yeah,
help
yeah,
you out.
yeah.
Sure.
Thank you.
Oh, good, buddy. Must be my question. Must be my presentation for those experts. Fifth will be Google My Business. Everyone have a business here, but who is not on Google My Business? Everyone is on Google My Business? Okay.
Is that the thing on the side?
Yeah, on the side of the
Oh,
Google search. It is free.
can
Do they mandatorily put you on that?
No, you need to put your business on my Google My
Okay.
Business page, and what you need to do is they will send you, because Google is very important on local business. So what they will do is they will send you a mail to come and give you the code to confirm that this business is located in this area. Otherwise, what I will do is I will say that's getting located in every different city around the world, and it make me very big, geography very big. But Google avoid people doing that by sending you a direct mail to that address, and you have to enter that unique code to activate my Google business. It's free, but you want to make sure your address is on the top. So when you're searching for example, this massage spa in Jubilee, it will come up in the search. And it's often, if you're doing Google search, this will often come up very top because it will have a very good review. You have a location. It will have a good number of reviews, high review, good number of reviews. And if the time is matching for the time frame, that at the moment that I do the search, it will come up. Yes.
One question, how will it work for a mobile mechanic or something like that where he doesn't have a fixed address?
You do need to have a fixed address, unfortunately, for Google My Business.
Okay.
So it will locate your address in the Google Map. However, I understand your business is Sunshine Coast to Gold Coast. Choose one in the center area, which will be maybe your head office or head kitchen locate, and you can set a service radius within Google My Business, and it will shows you like 25 mile. Your service radius is 100 mile, 100 mile. So they're using mile because it's an American-based company, but using that mileage, you can then set. But again, you need to find a balance. Some people say, "I will just set 500 mile. I can service anywhere." It doesn't help in your localize your business. So the less you have, the highest ranking you will do for the searching. Yeah. So phone number, all this information is critical. It is free to sign up with Google My Business. So if you have a business, please do so. It's people. Google keeps saying this is nothing part of their SEO strategy. It doesn't mean you have this and I will rank you higher in the Google search, and it does not affect your voice search. However, can you imagine when you type anything and this come out on the right? This is top any of the most important search that is in the search engine.
If I'm looking for like a restaurant or something, I just always look at the Google reviews.
That's right.
Just to whether to decide to go there or not.
Yeah, so very important point that Alex raised here. Google review. Google is so strong on their review now because before we will go to Zomato for food. At the moment, people in hospitality industry, they will go to TripAdvisor, but Google has put TripAdvisor part of this Google My Business now. So your TripAdvisor review is actually on the bottom part of the search.
They pull from quite a few different sources.
That's right. That's right. So if you are like we dominant in property industry, Rate My Agent is the ranking that property agent are chasing, and they even adopt the part of that those Google My Business. So this is the desk that you need to be part of. Okay, this graph, how Google rank a business, people don't have 100% answer, and it changes all the time. But based on what we understand this year, this is type of relevant, distance, customer reviews, all this, we will have a share percentage in here, behavior. And also, if you log in, if you have a Google account and you log in as Google account, if you like me, doing a lot of reviews, based on my review, it also trigger. So when I search for the best restaurant in Brisbane, and your search, even if you are in the same room, the exact same location, it may come out different because I might like Japanese food, and you might like Greek food. And that will show a very big difference where you as determine which are the best. Facebook reviews start to come in on board. They start pulling on your social account. So what they can do is what your friend like. Most of friends like Japanese food. so I will rate Japanese food in your best restaurant higher. There's no certain answer of how to say this is the best restaurant. As we know, even in today's world, there's no guarantee this is the best restaurant. But based on the review, sometimes we can say this restaurant might be better than the others. Conclusion. One, voice search is here, it's getting bigger. I know we use a lot of example in Google Basic because we are Google certified agency, but that doesn't say all the other search engine is bad. Siri, I think at the moment Siri probably have more users than Google in Australia because people still have fancy on Google. But I also am the early adopter to change to Google phone. Bad move, don't do it. because purely because I'm really not used to Android because I've been using Apple for 10 years. However, it does have some function that really amaze me. People are getting comfortable talking to their device. At the start, I see people doing this a lot. Yeah, we don't see this anymore. When we first have earphone, people like to do this. You know, when they have a little line, we don't see people start doing that because the device is getting better and better. You know, with your Apple earphone now, you can actually speak microphones into. You can basically do that all along. With all this smart home, speaking device that you have in the speaking device that you have at home, you pretty much doesn't need to. You are getting very comfortable.
You can whisper to it.
Yes, I did in at nighttime. I say, "Hey Google."
Yeah, you can whisper. You can
Yeah.
whisper to, yeah, you can whisper to my Alexa. You can, it's pretty
So
wild.
it is so weird, and I was so afraid because my son is now 2.5. I was so afraid that the first word he's gonna say is "Okay Google."
Well,
Doesn't whisper back to you.
actually, my partner's nephew, he was doing his homework.
Yeah.
And he was doing a complex math problem. I think it was just a multiplication problem, and he asked Alexa because I got one for them for the father's birthday.
Yeah.
And so he's already figuring out how to
How to cheat.
how to stuff it in there.
So natural language has become the new user interface. I know it's scary because I feel they are adopting. I feel they are learning. They're getting better and better every single. When I first got it, a lot of things you don't understand. But now, they start understand all the things. I think I'm wondering if he's 24/7 learning my behavior, but he's getting better and better at home. As a result, long tail keywords and conversation content are becoming more important. So we need to, in order to, put that into in a business form because we all haven't had business, so we need to make sure in a search we can use those long tail keywords. Your content should answer to specific question with to exact answer. So what do you do? I'm doing catering. Exactly what you want to hear as an answer. You don't want to have too much fluffy words in the website in order to take away your search result to that exact answer. You can help search engine understand and the meaning that your content with your structured data. So remember the dot point. Always put it in a dot point form. Really, okay, these are the 7 steps, these are the 5 steps. You see the early blogger or people who are doing SEO already understand that. They're putting in the dot point form 7 tips of how to do this. They give a specific answer in the dot point. So hopefully this will inspire by today's event. I know everyone have a different level of understanding how a search engine might perform. And to be honest, even we're doing Google ads, everything, SEM every day, search engine marketing every day. I still have trouble. Years ago they would say I will prompt you in the first page of Google, top Google. There, in an agency world, there's no such answer. I can't guarantee you will be on the top of Google. If anyone promise you that, They lie to you because there's no 100% answer. I can prompt your ranking, but by using this experience, by true marketing, to make sure we can adopt that in our business. If you have a website, or if you're thinking of doing a website, let's thinking of how do we do it more effectively, more Google friendly, or more search engine friendly, or voice search friendly.